Welcome to another Lohba vlog. Lohba enjoyed hanging out at the graveyard because he happens to live within a short bike ride of the third largest graveyard in North America, the Côte d'Ivoire Cemetery, and right beside it, the Mount Royal Cemetery in Montreal. And being in the graveyard sometimes feels like standing at the edge of the ocean and gazing out towards the infinite horizon of the unknown. Lohba gazes past the rows of graves. Each grave marks an individual, a life story, a whole lifetime, a lifespan. It could have been a very short life or a very long life. And it's fascinating to think, who were these people? Well, in point of fact, very few people will remember, walk up to a grave at random and who is this person? And now that I'm getting old and I've seen people die, friends and family members have died. So at one point, your hair turns gray, your teeth crumble and fall out, and you start having a whole list of aches and pains. Death can't be ignored. You can't pretend that you're going to live forever. I mean, that's part. And a common reaction, I was talking with somebody the other day about this, and he was saying that his reaction was that he would like to pass on something of his experience or knowledge, something to children or friends or to younger people. So there's this urge that to pass things on before you die, say, here, this is what I experienced, here, I want to share it with you. That is a common reaction. Another reaction, I talked to somebody years ago about death, and he told me that the thing that frightened him about death is the thought, like, it will be as though he had never even existed, because no one's going to remember. He'll just be like one of those grave markers. And he was hoping to leave behind a monument, some artifact or book or musical composition, something, a plaque, I don't know, so that people would remember, oh, I am me. I am me. And the most important thing to know about me is the fact that I am me, and I don't want you to forget that. I don't want anyone to forget that I am existing right now. I lived a lifetime, and I am me. And it's very important. There's only one me in the universe. So that's a common approach. But then you kind of realize that's kind of a funny attitude, isn't it? Sort of. Because when you realize that, when you're 60 and you look back to, say, when you're 10 or 20 years old, how much of me do I remember from when supposedly me at the age of 20, what was I doing on September 1st, whatever year that was? I can't even remember. I would have to. What was I thinking at lunchtime, say on what's the month are we? Say on April 1st, okay. Say July 1st, 1965. What was I thinking? What was I doing? And what was so important about this day that I would like to share with future generations, or that I would like to remember? So maybe that's a good way to start reflecting or examining these feelings about the fact that I am going to die. We're all going to die. So I don't want to ramble too much here, but it's a contemplation. So The simple point to summarize this whole thing is at a certain point in one's life, it could be any age. You could start at the age of 10 or 15. You don't have to wait till you're 60 to do this. But at one point, you're going to wonder, what is going on? What is life all about? Who am I? What is my name? What am I doing? Where do I come from? And what is important? And what happens? What was the world like before I was born? And what happens after I die? So that's step number one, is to stop ignoring death, stop ignoring the unknown, and to stop and to take a moment to pause and to contemplate it. So with that, I wish you all a pleasant day. Happiness.